All right. So here we are. It's 5 past the hour. So let us begin. I think, first of all, just as when we are together, let us first give our obeisances. This is normal matters. Vancha, kalpa, tarubhyascha, sita sindhubhya evacha, patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnave. All right. So something today before we actually start with our revising our revision and the revision of our revision. Das, we're meant to be das, anudas, but sometimes we are revising our revision of our revision of our revision. No problem, as if it helps us get a good foundation, it is all healthy. But, you know, sometimes we're always reading things which kind of jump out at us and think, oh, this is so important. So on the theme of the very basics of our devotional life and what we're doing, then yesterday I read this and I thought, well, you know, this is really important for us all. And I read it for myself and I reread it for myself. And it's Gurudev, and it's, if you like, it's classic Gurudev. It means our dear Srila Bhaktisunda Govinda Maharaj. I can see a Calcutta taxi. My goodness. So this is classic Srila Govinda Maharaj. Oh, is that Navasundara Prabhu? Oh, Navasundara Prabhu, we can hear you. Very good. I'm happy to see that you're in Calcutta. Don't keep the taxi waiting. All right, so welcome. So I'm just going to read a short excerpt from Revealed Truth by Srila Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj. And it's just right to the point, especially for the theme of our back to basics, we say course, but back to basics, revision of our revision of our revision. So Srila Gurudev saying, so Srila Bhaktisunda Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai, jai Srila Bhakti Rockok Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai, and all of our parampara, means the whole family of our teachers ki jai. So Gurudev is saying, and I'm simply reading this, it's short, so I mean really it's short, just bear with me. Mahaprabhu has given us the perfect process for smashing our mundane ego and discovering our real ego, our eternal form as a servitor of Krishna. And Srimad Bhagavatam explained the 4 directives for isolating ourselves from the virus. No, not from the virus. Yes, from a big virus. For isolating ourselves from the influence of Kali Yuga. Srimad Bhagavatam explained the 4 directives for isolating ourselves from the influence of Kali Yuga. Jutang panang striya suna yatra dharmas chaturvidha. And if you don't believe me, or you don't believe Gurudev, please believe me. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 17, verse 38. Gambling, intoxication, illicit sex, and meat eating are sinful activities and must be avoided. That is the translation. Now, Gurudev speaking. Srimad Bhagavatam gave this advice. It is necessary for our practicing life, but it is not service. It is necessary for our practicing life, but it is not service. It is a regulation. Mahaprabhu's directive to be humble, be tolerant, and give honor to others is our service. It explains how we should practice our spiritual life. And without humility, tolerance, and giving honor to others, no one will be successful in chanting the Lord's holy name, even if they follow the scriptural rules and regulations. Only following Mahaprabhu's directives for our practicing life will ensure that we are successful. That is, to be humble, be tolerant, and give honor to others. And then just the last sentence, which is also classic Srila Govinda Maharaj, classic Gurudev. He says, I have tested this thousands of times, and it is completely sure. There. How clear do we need a message to be? So this I was reading yesterday, and I thought, oh yes, this really, I mean, it is so clear for us. But the distinction between regulating our lives, and service. The service is to follow Mahaprabhu's direction, and the regulation of our life is to make our life civilized and isolated from not only the virus or pandemic. What's more than a pandemic? Like 100% success rate, 100% like conviction, whatever it may be. That is more than a pandemic. To isolate ourselves from Kali Yuga, the effects of Kali Yuga. And the thing is that Kali Yuga will catch everybody who's caught up in the sinful activities. So we need to be regulated. Anyhow, before we start, I thought I'd read this. It's from Revealed Truth. If anybody wants to go back and reread it, it's on the bottom part of page 295. Or not even the bottom part. It's 290. Now I've jumped. Now my thing has jumped. Yeah, 295, middle. And it starts just before the subheader, which says, my main advice. Anyway, our wonderful Srila Bhaktisundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj. These are some words from him. So Praneshwari Devi, welcome. And whoever joined us on 1489667768, welcome. We've given our obeisances to each other, and maybe one by one or two more will join us. But Praneshwari joining us from Miami, down in the south. No, she left us.
Maharaj, her sound isn't working. She's going to log off, I think, and try and log back on.
Okay. And look, Bhanavi's knitting something. And yesterday, I can show those of you who are in cold climates. Before, you know, you do chant japa, you know about chanting japa, right? Does anybody not know what japa is? Oh no, please don't say yes. We're chanting japa and our finger is left out. So before, somebody made from a one finger glove, because sometimes really it's cold and this finger is almost, I've tested it to see whether it's actually become ice, because you lose your sensations, freezing cold. And then this last winter, look what somebody sewed for me. Instead of it being a finger glove, which I still have, but it's somewhere in the cold places. Anyway, they knitted me this, which I'm not sure what you call it, and it was a child. And then I was thinking, well, what am I going to do with this? But actually, it just simply wraps around the finger like this. So for those of you who are in cold places, none of you are in cold places. Oh, well. Anyway, for those of you who visit cold places, this is a very good little invention for keeping the finger warm. Otherwise, we're putting under our armpit and feeling very difficult when we're out walking. Okay. Anyway, Bhanavi, you reminded me of this. And practical things. And by the way, I think all of you have seen this, but this is a really practical bead bag. After decades, literally, of chanting japa and continually, repeatedly, the beads falling out, then, and then, how you wrap the thread around and you tie it, you try to keep it tight to stop the beads falling out. Then one of our devotees in Ukraine, who makes shirts and garments. That's what he does. He has the machines, it's all computerized. And he made not exactly this, but he made another version, and it didn't work right, then suggested some things, he made another version. And then this is the third version, and means we gave some direction to him of how to change, what to do. And as they say, if you're going to build a house yourself, the first house, you build it with your own design and you kind of understand that, oh, I didn't quite get everything right. The second house, you think you've got everything right, but you still find, oh no, it's the third house, they say, when you're going to build for yourself, which will be actually the perfect house. But for most people, by the time they get to their third house, they're too old, so they can't be bothered to because it takes all their life to do those things. Anyway, this is a third bead bag. So following that principle, we didn't get too old, we're still alive, and we've got the third version of the bead bag, and really it works. So this is, for any of you who are seamstresses or whatever else it may be, this is simply the cuff of a sweater. And it comes in like a roll or something. So this is the cuff of a sweater going to the bead bag, and the bead bag, as you can see, the beads never once ever fall out. You know, sometimes we're chanting in the train or something, with the old kind, with the regular kind of bead bag, and like shocked to see the beads on the floor. They're like down, especially on an Indian train, you know, the floor is not the best place, how they just kind of come out. So anyway, maybe we can ask him, or somebody can make a plan. That would be a good idea, wouldn't it? What do they say? Pattern, to make a pattern for those who sew. Anyway, here we are. Some basics of devotional life. Chanting japa is also one of our basics. And last week, we revised our revision. We did revision of the 10 offenses of the holy name. But last week, we also added the 4 Namabhāsa, because we didn't actually go through that the first time that we went through the holy name. So now, everybody knows what is service. To be humble, tolerant, and give honor to others. Mahaprabhu's directive to be humble, to be tolerant, and give honor to others is our service. It explains how we should practice our spiritual life. Without humility, tolerance, and giving honor to others, no one will be successful in chanting the Lord's holy name, even if they follow the scriptural rules and regulations. I have tested this thousands of times, and it is completely sure. So then Gurudev does say, almost every day I advise my friends and everyone I meet to follow this directive of Mahaprabhu. What I say may sound like a memorized set of English words, but it is not only that. With my heart I am saying it every day, and I am feeling it also. I want to see that everyone's practicing life, their Shravan, Kirtan, and so on, continues happily in good association. If there is anything I want to distribute to the Western world, it is this, which is my first and best advice. Avoid the 10 offenses to the holy name and Vaishnava aparad by practicing Mahaprabhu's formula of being humble, being tolerant, and giving honor to others. This is my preaching and my practicing life. I have received this consciousness from Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Swami Maharaj. And I can see that it is completely necessary for everyone, everywhere. Without humility, tolerance, and giving honor to others, no one can maintain their devotional mood. And with these qualities, everyone can proceed very easily to their spiritual destiny. Anyway, I couldn't stop reading. Sorry about that. I selected the earlier part. But why not? Gurudev is saying every day, and it really is important for us. And we should never kind of think, some little bit sad sometimes, sometimes we mention about one of the books from Guru Maharaj or Gurudev, and then, we hear, yes, oh, I read that book. But it's more than just reading the book. It's not like a novel or some interesting book about geography or something. And Gurudev is encouraging us, and he said directly, our books of our mat are not for reading just once. We need to hear these topics again and again. So here we are, we're mentioning about humility, tolerance, giving honor to others, mentioning right here about avoiding offense to the holy name and avoiding offenses to the Vaishnavas, especially. And this way, Gurudev is saying, this is, my first and my best advice. So, the 10 offenses of the holy name. So, Krishna Mohini Didi has joined us from Salt Lake City. Katie Collar, she's joined us from Salt Lake City, very happily. And James is a devotee. I'm sure you're devoted at heart. James, are you from Salt Lake City? Maybe.
No, James was who we stayed with on the tour in Torquay, with his wife Fiona and the kids. And
in my heart.
Yeah. Thank you for the reminder. Sorry, because I got carried away with my enthusiastic sharing of humility, tolerance, and giving honor to others. Yeah, sorry, James. So, and Katie Collar is Krishna Mohini Didi. And I still don't know if it's 14089667768. Is that a prisoner? Huh?
That's Raja Mohini's phone number.
Raja Mohini.
That's
okay.
Her phone number.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So this is Braja Mohini. And I think, Braja Mohini is going to meet Sita, I think, later this week. It's not yet the weekend, it's Thursday. All right. So Braja Mohini, also welcome, and each of you. And James, really good to have you with us. James was such a good host to us, made arrangement for a public program, and has a very lively family. We're very happy to be in, lots of energy. All right. So, one time, okay, excuse me. So maybe one time we just run through the 10 offenses, just so that we've got this in our heart, just as humility, tolerance, giving honor to others we have in our heart. Then the 4 Nāmābhāsas, and then we'll move on today. So revision. The 10 offenses, the key words. First of all, either digitally put up your hand or physically put up your hand if you can honestly say, and devotees are all honest, yes, I know the 10 offenses in order. Put up your hand. Good. Praneshwari Didi, I don't see any hand. How can it be? And Leelavati has a little hand, a little low. Okay, a confident hand. And no one else is visible. All right. So 10 offenses to the holy name. Let us hear from Ananda Sundari Devidasi. Can you kindly tell us? I've unmuted. I'm trying to unmute you. Yes.
Yes, I'm on. Am I unmuted? Okay. Vaishnava, Vishnu, Guru, Shastra, exaggeration, concoction, sin, austerity.
Yes, piety, austerity.
Okay, and faithless.
Faithless, yes. Preaching to the faith.
And attachment.
Right, undue material attachment. Okay, very good, very good. So
I've been studying, Maharaj.
Good, we should try to do a little homework, to do a little study afterwards. This is a natural thing. Oh, look, we got claps from, I didn't even know there was a digital clap. I'm not sure how you do that, but we'll find out. There's always a way to find these things out.
On the reactions, Maharaj, down the bottom, where you do the like.
Reactions. Oh, okay. I have never used that yet, but now I know it's there. Oh, there's a clap and a thumb. Only 2 reactions. Okay, then we can't give any bad reactions to anybody. We do not do that. Okay, so yes, remember, these are key words to help us remember Vaishnava, to make offense to the devotees. And Gurudev actually so much stressing this first, and he mentioned just now 10 offenses to avoid the 10 offenses to the holy name, and then he specifically mentioned avoiding offense to the Vaishnavas. So the offense to the Vaishnavas, offense to Vishnu, considering his name, form, pastimes, etc. to be different from him, or to consider the Devas equivalent to the Lord. In summary, this is second offense. Third offense is Guru. Guru is the very medium by Krishna's arrangement for the fallen souls to get connection with the Lord. So not to see anything other than the Guru aspect, the inspired side of the Guru. This is, and Guru, not only the Guru of this plane, but the Guru Parampara, the Guru section, our very lifeline, the pure blood, the pure flow of Krishna Prema coming from the upper world. Then Shastra, the scriptures, not to make offense to the scriptures, and that means also we'll keep the book off the floor, etc., etc., try to have clean hands, but also our respect means giving our obeisances, knowing that the scripture is senior to us. It is the written form of the words of the Guru section, those who are giving us advice. Then 5, exaggeration, not to think that the glory is given in the scripture about the holy name are exaggeration. 6, to make concoction, to think it anything mundane about the name, to make a dictionary definition, etc., etc. The name is the Lord himself. You cannot invent something about his name. 7 is sin. To commit sin on the strength of chanting the holy name. 8, piety or austerity, to think that pious or austere, doing austerities is equivalent to chanting. Completely different category. Piety, austerity, charity, all these things will give you mundane good things, but only if connected with the devotees will anything substantially good come from such activity. So piety is within the mundane plane, but devotion and the holy name is all within the upper plane. Then faithless, to preach the glories of the name or to give the name to faithless persons. And 10, to maintain undue mundane attachment. And I think we gave some example that if we work in a corporation, that none of you do, I don't think any of you work in a corporation, do you? Yes. If you were to imagine you're working in a corporation and you got a promotion, then immediately, without any second thought, you will leave your office, all the staff you had working for you, all those people who you did take care of. But immediately you will leave them knowing somebody else is going to be taking that post, and you continue on in your, to the next city, the next floor in the multi-story building, whatever it is, but without attachment. Yes, I've done my duty here, now I'm continuing. So this way, the 10th offense, not to have undue material attachment. All right, now, good for us to revise that. We won't come to this every single week, but we are putting this in solidly in ourselves. Now the 4 Namabhas. Can you raise your hand if you know in order the 4 Namabhasis? Not so many hands this time, but there's only 4 things to remember. Lilavati, not?
I can't remember all of them in the right order now.
Can you remember all of them, whether the right order or not?
I'm not sure.
Not sure. Okay. So who is sure? Let me see a show of hands, please. Okay, so this time I saw Abhinavasunda's hand. Why are you lying down? Are you lying down, Abhinavasunda? You had a hard day's work. It's the evening there, right? Oh, it's not the evening. It's the middle of the day.
Haven't even started work yet, Maharaj. No, I'm sitting, Maharaj. I'm just sitting to the side.
Oh, you're sitting to the side.
But
okay.
I have to lean like this so that I can, you know, get into the screen.
You're not doing austerities. Austerities.
Yeah.
Trying to get some power.
One
right?
hand up in the air and standing on one foot.
You're becoming a disciple of Hiranyakashipu. Okay, please tell us 4 Namabhases and the essence behind them. 4 Namabhases from Abhinavasunda Prabhu.
Okay, so the first one is indirectly chanting. And the example given by Guru Maharaj is Ajamil when he wakes up, when he's being taken away by the Yamadutas. Then he calls out for his son Narayan. And then he realizes that actually he should be calling the real Narayan, not his son Narayan. And then second is Chinmoy's favorite, which is Chinmoy's favorite, jokingly.
Oh.
Okay, so no laughing at the Hare Krishnas when they're on the street. And then the third one is code word, so not to use the Lord's name for Madanga mantras, etc. And then the fourth one is indolently, so we should be waking up and thinking of the Lord, not chanting his name while we yawn.
I'm looking up indolent.
Oh, I got that from you, Maharaj.
I know you got it from me.
Right.
I know you got it from me. I was just checking that I gave the right word. But it is. It's just in one word. It says here in the dictionary, lazy. So yeah. Okay. Very good.
Like me lying down. I can't even sit up on a Zoom call, Maharaj. See.
All right. So very good. So correct. So all of us try to please put this into our mind. So the 10 offenses, most of us have got the only 4 Namabhas. And I don't know how to make it any easier than, the 4 words, indirect, joking, code word, all one word, code word, and indolent. Hare Krishna. We need, and as Guru Maharaj points out, all of these 4 basically are inattentive chanting. We need to be attentive in our chanting. We need to be a little bit awake. So we want to be attentive. All of this is good advice. We heard from Gurudev then how to chant the holy name with humility, with tolerance, and giving honor to others. And that can bring us on to doing our revision for the verses that we went through word by word. And the verses we went through word by word were Chinadapi Sunichena, the very verse that Srila Gurudev is referring to, though he didn't actually say it in Bengali in what we read. And we'll also Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate. That verse we went through, word by word. And the other verse that we went through was Bhagavat Bhaktita Sarvam Ityutsrijya Vidher Api Kainkaryam Krishna Padaika Shrayatvam Sharanagatihi. So those 3, and Govinda Nandini, we have all those 3 on the website, right? Where's Govinda Nandini?
Yes, I am here on the Facebook page.
Yes, okay. Somehow in Zoom, people move around on the screen. Sit still, will you? Whatever they say. Anyway, the Zoom screens move around. So are those 3 verses with the word by word on the Facebook page?
Yes, they are all there.
Okay, and everybody knows where that Facebook page is, right? If not, you could maybe put a message. Oh, I see that a message is in the chat box. I can't, anyway. Okay, so, I mean, if you like, we can go through Trinadapi Sunichena again right now, because it fits in so well with what Srila Gurudev was saying. So we are trying to solidify the basics of our life. But Gurudev is saying, this is my first advice and my best advice. So really, this idea of repetition, it is good for us. We need to be able to repeat these things, not only repeat reading the books, but repeat the very basics of what we're trying to be doing. So let us come to Trinadapi Sunichana, and you have it there word by word. And Govinda Govinda. Oh, Navasundar Prabhu is saying that Rama is there too. Very good. Welcome, welcome. Sorry, I just noticed the little bits in the bottom. So Trinadapi Sunichena. Who would like to go through Trinadapi Sunichena? Taror eva sahishnuna amanina manadena hitanya sada harihi. Who would like to go through this word for word? Chinmoy Prabhu would like to go. Okay? Actually, through the ether, not only does Zoom go through the ether, but I was thinking to ask Chinmoy when I saw no immediate hands jumping up. I thought, okay, Chinmoy Prabhu. So I'm happy you also volunteered. So let us go through. You can unmute yourself, Chinmoy Prabhu. I tried to unmute you, but somehow or another it's not. Yes, there you are. Trinad api sunichena, etc. Over to you. I'm passing the microphone to you, Chinmoy Prabhu.
I'm not sure what you want me to do. Like the actual word per word?
Yes, so we know what we're saying rather than just say the whole verse and say, oh, this means to be humble, to be tolerant, etc., etc., etc.
Well, I'm going to have to cheat a little. So I'm taking this from Database.
Okay, but you're an honest devotee. You're telling us you're cheating. So all is good.
So Trinadapi, that means then, well, it's going to be kind of mixed up because of how Sanskrit works. So maybe we should start with Sunichina, which means being lower. Trinadapi means then downtrodden grass. And then Sahishnuna, that means with more tolerance. Taro, then a tree. Eva means indeed. And then Manadena means giving respect to all. And Amanina means without being puffed up by false pride. And Kirtaniya, to be chanted. Sada, always. Hari, the holy name of the Lord.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So we should get a blade of grass or something, shouldn't we? And fold it over. Okay. Trinad api sunichena. Low. Nichena is low, and sunichena is like so low. Oh, so low. Sunichena, so low. So like very low. So more low than the bent over blade of grass. Trinad api sunichena. And then taro, the tree. We bring in a tree and show a tree. Taro eva, indeed, sahishnuna. Sahishnuna. Tolerance. More than that of a tree. Then amanina, not anybody will give me any praise. Amanena manadena. But I will give praise to everybody. Honor to everyone. Kirtanya. Kirtan, everybody knows Kirtan. Sada, always. Harihi. Chanting always the glories of the Lord. So Trinad api sunichena. So Trinad api sunichena. Taror eva sahishnuna. Amanena manadena. Kirtanya sada harihi. Trinad api. So I'm showing it in Chinese in case anybody doesn't know English. I'm doing the sign language for Chinese. We do have, some of you know him, one devotee in Bangalore in India. He's deaf and he brings groups to Vrindavan and they do sign language. Even for Hare Krishna. This is Hare Krishna, like playing the flute. Hare Krishna. Bhanavi, you know the sign language? Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna.
Like this, but yes.
Okay, then do.
Hare
Okay,
Krishna,
Bhanavi is expert. Let's show us.
Krishna, Hare Rama with a R almost. In ASL, this is an X, but with an R. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama is not an arrow?
I'm not entirely sure. I didn't actually learn it. I found some deaf videos online and I just kind of tried to copy it as much as I can. So I don't know the exacts.
I should send him a little mention and ask him if he can make a little video, because really it's interesting watching them chant Hare Krishna. But they're chanting Hare Krishna, and he said to me, I mean, he does make sounds, but he's a very good English typist and writer. He communicates. We use the tablet to communicate, and he said to me, in the way he says, that it is amazing that Mahaprabhu's mercy even allows deaf people to chant the holy name. Yeah. Oh, amazing. Let's see. And he's very presentable. He comes from a good family and he's a natural, like a leader personality. And he comes to Vrindavan with so many people, maybe around 20 regularly. Around 20 people he has these deaf symposiums he attends in Delhi, which is near to Vrindavan. And it's wonderful having them stay at the mat. You know, one day it's prasadam time and I'm wondering, where are all the devotees? And then where's his group? They should be serving. And I'm downstairs, there's like nobody around. And then Madhav Maharaj, who's managing the temple there, he said, no, they're all taking prasadam. And I looked in and they said they're in the Nat Mandir, the temple room. So I looked in the temple room, complete silence while they're taking prasadam, because they don't, I mean, when our sweet devotees get together, there's not going to be complete silence. There's going to be lots of
Gurudev would approve of that, Maharaj.
Yeah. Gurudev liked him very much. And just give me one second.
I meant the not eating during prasadam.
The not eating during prasadam?
Not talking during prasadam. Don't eat while you're taking prasadam, Maharaj.
Right, we mustn't eat while we take prasadam.
Chincha, no.
All right, yeah, Anantadev Prabhu is his name. Sorry, I gently forgot his name. But he's a good soul, and he came to Srila Gurudev on different occasions, and Gurudev giving him much mercy, and he's been with us quite a lot. Anyway, how did we get onto this? Oh, because I was miming the Trinad api sunichena taro eva sahishnuna amanina manadina Kirtanya sada harihi. So this very much fits in with today. it's good we try to understand a little bit of what we're saying when we say these Sanskrit slokas. And I think only we did 3 slokas, which was Trinadapi Sunichana, Nāmābhāsa, the pranam mantra to Mahaprabhu. Oh, we did also Om Ajnana Timirandasya. This verse, correct me if I'm wrong, I think this verse we did word by word also. So all these, the Facebook page is in the chat, and I'm going to copy it because I want to see what's there. I'll see what's there later.
The link that I sent actually is directly to all of the documents that I uploaded that have the word for word breakdowns and all the resources.
Okay, that's perfect. That's pretty much exactly what we need, isn't it? All right. So, as usual, I've been talking too much. But the wonderful thing about Zoom is we are together. So I noticed there's a little message here that John T has a question. So today, I've read this emphasis about humility, tolerance, giving honor to others. Those who weren't with us at the beginning, I mean, it is an interesting point for me. This section jumped out at me yesterday, and we've heard Gurudev so many times talk about humility, tolerance, and giving honor to others. But where we started from today was, oh no, I lost it. Oh yes, was where Gurudev is saying about the 4 directives for Kali Yuga. Srimad Bhagavatam explained the 4 directives for isolating ourselves from the influence of Kali Yuga: gambling, intoxication, illicit sex, and meat eating. They are sinful activities and must be avoided. And then Gurudev is saying, Srimad Bhagavatam gave this advice. It is necessary for our practicing life, but it is not a service. It is a regulation, which I thought was like a point. It's a we need to be regulated. We're not animals. And we have specific regulations in Kali Yuga so that the influence of Kali doesn't swamp us and take us away from our goal. But then Gurudev said, Mahaprabhu's directive to be humble, to be tolerant, and give honor to others is our service. So there we are. So it's something a little, added to our revision of Trinadapi Sunichana. So, time flies by. Can I then just ask to Jonty? Jonty, you had a question, is that right? Yes. Please unmute yourself. I think 2 of us are unmuting you at the same time. Do you know how to do it?
All right, here we go.
So Jonty is from New Zealand, the North Island, Whangarei, and in the association of a very beautiful group of devotees. So this is just a little introduction to Jonty for those who don't know him. So New Zealand is right next door to California and Washington, just on the other side of a little puddle of water they call the Pacific Ocean. Yes, Jonty.
Dandavats Maharaj. I was just going to ask, you were mentioning about the Namabhasas before. Would, and you were saying about like using the holy names for code words, would using the holy names for like a password on a computer or something, is that a Namabhas? If you don't mind me asking.
No, it is not Namabhas. We are protecting we are accepting the Lord's protection. We're accepting his guardianship. But when we type it in, let it remind us of Krishna himself. But I know your password. I know the password of all of you. Some of you have got Krishna 108, some have got Gauranga 108, some have got Nrsingadev 108. Oh, busted. You see, I've got special mental powers to know your password.
Oh, excuse me, Maharaj. If I may just say, I remember Ananda Prabhu said, something. If you ever want to get into the bank account of any devotees, it's always usually 108 or 1008.
Only you will want to get to their bank account for serve in their service. Let us qualify that.
Well, you won't find any money in most of them anyway, so it's kind of irrelevant.
You'll have to pay the debt. Sometimes children, I don't know whether this happens in the West, but in India, I know it does happen. That the children, they think, oh, I'm going to inherit from my parents. And when the parents die, they find that they inherit the debt, what their parents owe. And then they get a bit of a shock there. So, good point, Avinavasundar Prabhu. All right, Jonti, that was a good question, yes. But we want to be direct. And we please don't neglect chanting japa. Don't neglect chanting japa. Those of you who have, and most of you have second initiation too, don't neglect chanting Gayatri.
Chinmoy, yes? Unmute yourself, Chinmoy.
Maharaj, I was just wondering if we should mention also the fifth regulation, rule and regulation.
Yes, and the fifth regulation that Gurudev actually, and probably Chinmoy is saying this because he may well have heard it from Gurudev too, but Gurudev different times has said, actually, the fifth regulation, because after giving Kali after giving Kali 4 places to stay, then Kali is a bit sad and said, well, that means where, very few places I'm going to be able to stay, because remember at that time, people were well behaved. And so Maharaj Parikshit gave, was it Maharaj Parikshit? Yes, he gave one other place. He said, oh, okay, you are praying to me, I must fulfill your prayer. Then where there is the hoarding of gold, hoarding of wealth, said that place you can stay. And Gurudev said, different times we've heard him quite strongly sometimes saying, and this is the worst of all of the offenses. Because in this, not offenses, offenses means this is, the worst of breaking that is the worst of all of the regulations for following in Kali Yuga, the restrictions. Because in the hoarding of gold, all of the others are present within that one item. So whatever funds come, we should try to utilize those funds and not hoard it. And as we find out in the present age, people are losing all their savings too, when suddenly they find, oh, this institution has gone down. So, hoarding funds, it is not healthy for us, because it is not letting us rely on Krishna, if you like, that, oh, yes, what I get, I will use in service. But also it is one of the regulations as given by Mahaprabhu as given by Srimad Bhagavatam. It's one of the 5 regulations for our immunization, isolation, Gurudev said, from the effects of Kali Yuga, the degradation. Otherwise we will be caught. So it's good that most of the devotees, their bank accounts are zero. But whatever you get, you try to use in service. We read a funny purport of Srila Prabhupada a little while ago, but it was a happy purport. And who was I with? Oh, with Paramananda Prabhu. And we're reading Srimad Bhagavatam. And anyway, I can't say where it was. But we read a commentary by Srila Prabhupada, either Bhagavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrita. And Srila Prabhupada said, I have so many centers. This is A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. He's saying, I have so many centers, so many nice facilities, so many places that devotees have made for me all over the world. But I have been cursed by the parents of my disciples that I cannot stay in any one of them. Like always moving from one place to another. I thought that was really funny. Srila Prabhupada himself saying, but I've been cursed by the parents of my disciples that I cannot enjoy. I cannot stay in any of these beautiful facilities that have been made by the devotees. I am cursed that I always have to move, which I thought was quite funny. But whatever we get, we'll use in service. And how to use in service? Try to use under the direction of the senior Vaishnavas. Then we know it's being used properly. We want to be careful. Gurudev was very careful with every rupee. I was doing his accounting. I was looking after, he's looking after everything. And on his behalf, we are trying to look after how the funds are being used. Gurudev was careful for every rupee. Not every 1,000 rupee or every 100 rupee, but every rupee he was careful for. And Guru Maharaj, the same. Guru Maharaj like this, himself handing out the funds. So we know that money is very heavy. It is energy and it is to be used properly. So when funds come, it is a responsibility to use it properly. And Guru Maharaj and Gurudev are and Srila Prabhupada, of course, our examples of how to do that. All right, any other question? And next week, next time rather, we will introduce something new as well as, going back over the things we've gone over. But before our next meeting, let's try to make those 4 Nāmābhāsas easily rememberable for ourselves, because then we can, when they're easily rememberable for ourselves, we can then easily refer to them in our mind and try to make sure that we're following those. I mean, following the opposite of the offense, following the opposite of the Namabhas. But we need to be conscious of them. And it shouldn't be all our energy goes in trying to remember what they were. Our energy should be going to, yes, let's avoid these things. So we've got those 4 Namabhasas, and then we've got the 3 slokas that we went through. Trinadapi Sunichina. 4 slokas we did actually. Trinadapi Sunichina. Nāmābhāsa. Then Bhagavad Bhaktita Sarvam. And which verse did I miss out?
Om Agyan Tira.
Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyanan Jana Shalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Yes. So all these are here on the back to basics page, back to basics page on Facebook. So let us do this, and next time we will introduce something new for our basics, and happily, like that. Is there any other question? Oh, Rama, Hare Krishna. We can see you there in Canberra. How are the kangaroos? Still jumping up, running down the street outside your house? We can hear you, Rama.
Definitely.
Definitely, yeah. I was chanting japa on the porch outside their house early in the morning, and I heard coming down the road, tick-tock, tick-tock, like a soft, not like a horse, but like some sound. I think, what's that?
Yeah.
And then big kangaroo just coming down, coming up the street. Canberra, the only, and I've heard there's another capital city, maybe one of only 2 capital cities in the world where you cannot use the excuse, even in the rush hour, oh, I'm late because I was held up in traffic. Because Canberra, no traffic.
Lasts for 5 minutes.
Maximum 5 minutes, yeah.
And what's that phrase, Navasunda? It's a terrible place to visit, but a great place to live.
Yeah. Yeah.
We visited, and it was a wonderful place because we were with the devotees, and
you'll have to come and live here then, Maharaj.
Oh, well, we can live there with our heart because devotees are there and nature is all around you. And the kangaroos, they are a little special. All right. Any question from any quarter? And James, really very happy to have you with us, to join with us. And I heard that you were with Vishaka, that she also visited you. I was speaking with her a little earlier this week. During this time that we are talking now, London is all fast asleep. It's the wrong time for Europe, but as we see, it's the right time for at least the west coast of America, and for Australia and New Zealand, it is the right time. So we're very happy that we're able to come together and try to do something good for each other. And by the way, another thing I can say just about that short excerpt that we read this morning, how much heart from Gurudev to say this about humility, tolerance, and giving honor to others. And he say, well, I mean, what did he say? With my heart, I am saying it every day, and I am feeling it also. I want to see that everyone's practicing life continues happily in good association, Vaishravan, Kirtan, and so on. If there is anything I want to distribute to the Western world, it is this, which is my first and best advice. Avoid the 10 offenses to the holy name and Vaishnava aparad by practicing Mahaprabhu's formula of being humble, tolerant, and giving honor to others. This is my preaching and my practicing life. I have received this consciousness from Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Swami Maharaj, and I can see that it is completely necessary for everyone, everywhere. So, in service to Srila Gurudev, our wonderful Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj, in service to his lotus feet, hoping that he may be pleased that we can put a spotlight to his spotlight of teaching, humility, tolerance, and giving honor to others. We can think this may be the theme of this week, our coming together. Any short question from anybody?
Yes, what does Namabhas mean?
Oh, very simple, in one sentence, it simply means inattentive chanting. So we're taking the name of Krishna, maybe without any offense, but we are not actually calling Krishna. We're not calling Hare Krishna. Hare is Radha, Krishna is Krishna, and Rama is also Krishna. It means Krishna who is giving pleasure to Radharani, joy to Radharani. So everything in the Maha Mantra is the Maha conception, which is Radha Krishna conception. This is also given by our Guru Maharajas. So Namabhas means inattentive chanting. So if we can, and actually the japa time is meant to be the time where we do either sit or stand, there's not hard and fast rules, but give attention that I'm chanting japa. This is my time to focus on chanting japa. So we should be attentive, but we should also be always Kirtanya Sada Harihi. We should always, this Sada, be chanting the name of the Lord. So even when we're doing other things, we should try to be attentive, keep bringing our mind back to Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. It's a lifetime of practice, Rupanuga Prabhu.
Okay.
Yes. As is Trinadapi Sunichena Taro Riva Sahishnuna Amanina Manadina Kitanya Sara Harihi. Gurudev told specifically about this too. It is a lifetime of practice. All right. So I need to take your leave. However, I'll leave from the gathering and I'm very happy you can talk with each other, share with each other, continue happily for the next 23 hours. I have no problem. We've been together for the last, for 24 hours a day. We want association and Harikatha. But now my duty, my seva is to be here with the devotees. And we have quite a good group. As the material things start stopping as the material duties of our devotees stop because of circumstances, we have more in the Mangalarti. Yesterday was a normal day, nothing special on the calendar, but we had 15 devotees for Mangalarti. So we're very happy for that, because they're starting to realize, oh, I don't have an excuse that I'm working because there's no work to do. All right, dear devotees, my respects and obeisances to you all, and a big Ki Jai for our wonderful Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj. Ki Jai, our wonderful Srila Bhakti Rockok Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj. Ki Jai, our most worshipable, universally worshipable Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Ki Jai, and source of our fortune in the present day, you can say in a very large way, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai, who's made the whole world clear what is real Krishna consciousness. If we follow what they teach, to stay carefully in the channel of our masters. And Jai Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Bhaga Ki Jai. And to all the devotees present and worldwide, Ki Jai. Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. All right, I take your leave, and I am available. Just send a message if anybody wants to have some chat time. We have like some specific commitments like now, but other times we can set a time to have a talk and a chat. Happily.
Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj Ki Jai.
Time to go. Dandavat.